This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 167. Big catalog equals infinite specialty shops, and business is creative, both by Derek Sivers of Sivers. That's SIVE.RS. And I'm Dan. I'm your host here. Welcome to Optimal Startup Daily, where I read to you from some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship. And today I've actually got two separate posts from Derek Sivers, and I'll share more about him after the reading. So for now, let's get right to the first post as we start optimizing your life. Big catalog equals infinite specialty shops by Derek Sivers of Sivers, SIVE.RS. Here's an idea I built but never launched at CD Baby. Maybe you can take it and use it somehow. How do you call attention to over 200,000 musicians so that each has a chance of being noticed by someone who might like them? They're categorized into 850 different musical genres, and the artists are from 300 different countries and states. You break it down into categories, right? But then people still have to start at a big generic front door, listing every possible genre or location. Not exciting. If you're a huge fan of Brazilian funk music, wouldn't you be more excited to find a shop that's specialized in Brazilian funk? If you only love gospel, wouldn't you feel better browsing a site that only carries gospel from around the world? If you live in Italy, wouldn't it be cool to explore a music store of independent musicians from Italy? Finding a great kindred specialist in your niche is way more exciting than finding another generalist. So what if you could break down this big catalog of 200,000 musicians into 1,000 little specialty shops? It's difficult and expensive in the physical world, but easy and cheap in the digital world. It's cheap and easy to register 1,000 domain names like BrazilianFunk.com, WorldwideGospel.com, and ItalianIndies.com. Point them all at the same storefront, which then limits the catalog to artists in that genre and location. Each has a unique CSS style, so they look visually different too. From the customer's point of view, it's much easier to discover new music in a specialty shop like this. All new arrivals and editors' picks and top sellers charts only show albums in that niche. From a marketing point of view, it opens up all kinds of avenues to reach niche music organizations like Folk Alliance or the Japanese Music Exporters League or whatever. In fact, it'd be easy to make a specialty shop for each of them, featuring only their members. Now imagine you're a jazz musician in Sweden and you come across a store called SwedishJazz.com. It's filled with 100 jazz musicians from Sweden, but your album is not there. You'd have to get on it. Whereas you wouldn't have been so inspired to get your album selling in a big generic store, you do go to the trouble to sell your music through this niche store, which of course adds your music into the main central database that powers them all, including the original big store that carries everything for those that are not niche shoppers. If you get inspired by this or make something like this, please let me know. And I'll have another post from Derek in just a sec. But first, after years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after speaking with them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. So by cutting out retail stores, there's no crazy overhead costs that get passed down to you in the form of mystery fees. Instead, Mint just passes on sweet savings direct to you. I just switched out my SIM card and cut my wireless bill, saving around $40 a month. So easy. I could even use my own phone plan and keep my same phone number along with my existing contacts. Try it out. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/OSD. That's mintmobile.com/OSD. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/OSD. Business is Creative by Derek Sivers of Sivers, SIVE.RS. A famous record label executive was confronted by a musician who said, "You don't value creativity." The executive said, "Oh, please, I've got accountants more creative than you." It's meant as an insult, but it has a point. Don't think of music as creative, but business as not. Business is definitely just as creative as music. Most musicians are wildly creative when writing, playing, performing, and recording. But as soon as it's time to do business, they stiffen up and lose their confidence. They follow advice that tells them exactly how to promote. But turning off your creativity, trying to play it safe, is the worst thing you could do. Just like with music. So loosen up. Get confident, creative, playful, and experimental. Break the rules. Try some things that nobody else has done. Think of how comfortable you are on your instrument, improvising, experimenting, and having fun with it. Now, be that comfortable when marketing. Improvise, experiment, and have fun with it. You just listened to the posts titled Big Catalog Equals Infinite Specialty Shops and Business is Creative, both by Derek Sivers of Sivers, that's SIVE.RS. And thank you to Derek for letting us share his work. He is a musician and programmer who created the popular website CD Baby, where independent musicians can sell their CDs online and even have their music submitted online to Apple Music, Spotify, and more. Around 10 years later, owning the entire company, he sold it to disc makers for $22 million, putting most of that money away into an organization he created called the Independent Musicians Charitable Trust, which will fund music education after he passes away. Derek's a super unique guy. He's a TEDx speaker and popular writer with some great books like Anything You Want. Definitely worth checking out, so come by his site, which is just his last name with a dot in it. That's Sivers, spelled SIVE.RS. But that should do it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the post from Derek and that you have a great rest of your day. And I'll be back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.